I know we got to move on to the next topic. Heard the little buzzer. Did Michael Vick? And I was going to say this, but I didn't know if it was too soon. I didn't know. But did Michael Vick let the dogs out on Cap?
You did not just say that. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Helen.
Yes, Helen. I know, Helen.
Can he say that on air?
Can he say that? Come on, Helen. Come on.
She gave the thumbs up. You're fine, doctor.
Okay. I mean, he really told him to shape it up. I mean, Michael Vick telling somebody to shape it up? There's a lot of angry people. I mean, I didn't even read all of the articles and all of the comments, but there were some angry people out there with Mike Vick telling him that Cap needed to shape up his image. And I don't even think Cap's hair is bad. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I mean, really.
There's not.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he could fit under the helmet, who cares? Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, but that's like Allen Iverson telling Kawhi Leonard to shape it up. You know, like,
Yeah.
Or Allen Iverson telling anybody to shape it up. Really? That's like LeBron telling somebody not to, not to do anything LeBron does. I was thinking of the word, but it just slipped my mind.
Well, you kind of have to wonder if Michael Vick was trying to, in any way, compare his situation to Colin Kaepernick, and it's not the same.
No, it's completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
If we're talking about fixing your image, like, you were a felon.
Right.
Kaepernick just took a knee. Like, he don't owe anybody anything, really, like, in terms of fixing his image or anything like that. No.
We should be paying him.
Right. He's been doing all kinds of things in the community and stuff ever since that whole thing transpired. Like, Colin Kaepernick's been, like, one of the better, I'm using the words role model loosely.
Very loosely.
Very, very loosely.
Loosely.
But, I mean, he's been doing so many good things that I think if you're going to look at anybody in the NFL and say you need to change something, he's not going to be on that list. Like, he keep on doing what he was doing. Probably needs to get a little bit better at football, but that's a whole other story in and of itself.
And some people made the argument that he had a good year, and I guess people are looking at, what's his name? Let's say Ryan Fitzpatrick, for example. Mm-hmm. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets a job. And don't get me wrong, I wanted Tampa to pick up Kaepernick, but I don't want them to pay $10 to $15 million for a backup, even though we were going to pay the same amount for, what's his name, Mike Glennon.
Yep.
Which that was a whole other thing. Mike Glennon going to Chicago to get gazillions of dollars, and then they draft the number one. They draft the quarterback number one. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's something completely different. But I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird, And Chris just let us know that Melvin's having some technical difficulties, and we're going to try to continue to get him back in. But we could definitely continue with the conversation for the time being. I just feel like Michael Vick, maybe he was taken out of context.
It could be.
Because, we always, Debate Amongst Friends, we talk about media baiting all the time.
Because it's really such a thing as that. Even though you do, what you do for UNC, so we're not trying to say you do that, but there are cases where that happens, where they would say something or they would stretch the truth to a point to where it's like, well, this athlete right here, he did this, this, and this, where he only just did, He picked up a quarter off the ground, but he robbed the bank. What?
Right.
He just picked up a quarter though. It was on the ground in the park. He wasn't even near a bank. In fact, all of his money is inside of a mattress.
But he robbed.
Here's my opinion about this. Because we're now living in such a PC world, Michael Vick is conveying what, and I don't want to use certain terms that got another ESPN broadcaster fired because he said this about RG3.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't say it. Helen, no.
Helen's already giving me that evil eye right now, so I can't say that. But
just the fact that you brought it up, like,
but he's pushing the PC agenda on him. He's basically trying to say, and they talked about this on today's Undisputed. He's basically trying to say is the image that he conveyed is not about what he did that was the issue, because he didn't really break any laws or anything like that. And I'm not going to just regurgitate everything that they're saying. I'm just giving you a recap. But it's not what he did that was an issue, because it wasn't anything illegal, because he was just standing up for something that he was believing in. It's the fact that since people are now using the image of him kneeling down, Michael Vick is saying you need to change your image to, fix your reputation within the league. Because, and this is actually a great point. Inside the NFL, there's no such thing as, oh, well, if I can play, then I should play.
Who cares?
Like, the onus is like, well, I don't like you, so I'm not going to bring you onto my team at all. It doesn't matter if you're like the best person in the world. Like, if you have bad PR, then I don't care.
Because, you look at it, like, so right now on my screen, I was looking at the Patriots, let's just say. And, one of the first people I see, LeGarrette Blount. We all know what happened to LeGarrette Blount at Oregon. Right before he's senior, right? Actually, his season ended.
Yep.
They're walking up the field, and he punches a guy in the face. Yeah. Punches a guy in the face.
In the face.
And they're catching one.
And he still got. He got drafted late. Actually, no, he didn't get drafted. I think he went undrafted. Excuse me.
Yeah. Because he ended up going to the Bucs.
He wound up going to the Bucs. Actually, he went to Tennessee first, then to Tampa. And you look at people like him. You look at a lot of people make mistakes, but in this particular situation, we're not talking about mistakes. We're talking about, hey, a person standing up for human rights, saying, hey, I don't like what's going on here. I want to try to make a difference. Sure, I would have never thought anybody would go out there and, dare I say, kneel on this flag, even though most people in the stands don't actually stand up for it. So they don't. A lot of people don't move their hats.
Nope.
It's all the same thing to me. So,
well, it's all about the human perspective of hypocrisy in the end.
Yeah.
So
like just because it's such a big figure. It's Colin Kaepernick. He almost won the Super Bowl during the blackout Super Bowl a few years back. Like,
oh god, not the blackout Super Bowl.
Oh, I went there. So so for the crowd, for the people, not just the people who disregard him, but even those millions of people listening on to this podcast right now. They take it and they go, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. And, they take it out of proportion. Like, can we all at least agree that they took this situation way out of proportion?
Way out of proportion. And, part of the problem is that Colin Kaepernick is in way too big of a market for, like, the 49ers in general.
Yes.
True, yes.
Like, if this happened in Jacksonville, whoever the quarterback was in Jacksonville, somebody takes a knee. Are we still talking about it right now?
That's where the question. I don't know.
Well, and that's the problem. There's too many, what if scenarios. What if it was in this place? What if it was, a different quarterback? Well, it was a white quarterback. Like,
right.
We can't keep talking about the what ifs about these situations. The fact that it happened, the people reacted the way that they did. We're now looking at the current aftermath. But what we need to think about is how can we move forward? Like, everyone.
He would have to get signed. That's the only way to move forward.
Everyone's still bad talking Colin Kaepernick, but the one thing they're not talking about is all of the philanthropy that he's been doing.
Right.
No one's focusing on that. They're just saying, well, this is the guy who kneeled during the during the national anthem. Oh, but what about what he did for these people over here? Oh, I don't care about that.
So what is it going to? I mean, so is that the image that you think Michael Vick might have been talking about? I mean, he's trying. It's not like he's not trying. He delivered water to some countries. He's, obviously done some rallies. He's obviously made plenty of headway. What is it going to take? And why is Michael Vick now taking all this heat? It's getting ridiculous.
It is.
Unbelievable. Well, to one of the main events here